Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome along to your pre-match build-up here on the Rangers Rabble Podcast. We are live on YouTube, Twitter, and Patreon. So, hello to everybody tuning in. Please get your comments in, get your pre-match thoughts ahead of Rangers returning against Hearts at Ibrox. Joining me today is my co-host Alex. Alex, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. There's a comment from Beatbop that sums up how I'm feeling too. But listen, we're not gonna get into that at all. We're gonna try and remain positive that this is going to be the turnaround for Russell Martin, and we actually start to see good results. So let's wait and see, mate.
Do you really believe that?
No, but I have to. I'm on YouTube. I have to, didn't I? But yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? Like, how many games are we going to go without actually getting 3 points? I cannot see a world where we're getting 5 games in a row with 3 points.
Well, apparently Alex is traumatised after the Discord fiasco.
I don't know what Charles is even thinking about. He sent me something on Friday, and I was just like, what was that? I had to close it instantly. In work, he sent it, by the way. But it was in work.
Poor Alex has been sacked for his job. There we go. Right, listen, before we go any further, let's hear from the manager and then we can go back and discuss it and look at the starting lineup today, which has got some questions. It's got some questions, but I had a feeling that no matter what way the manager went today, he was going to get criticised. So let's hear from him.
Russell, it's back to the Scottish Premiership this afternoon. What kind of game are you expecting here from Hearts?
Well, they've started the season very well, so it'll be, I think it'll be full throttle. It'll be high energy. They're aggressive. We need to match the level of energy and aggression we showed in our last game here, and then be a bit more composure on the ball than we did. Move the ball quickly and create some more chances. So I'm looking forward to it. I really like the dynamic of the group. The window's shut. Things have settled down, and now we have to start winning today.
How was that international period for you and the time you maybe got with the players then?
Well, for the guys that went away, they've come back energised. They all did very well. And the guys who were here trained brilliantly, and they had a lot of work. So they did a lot of work, had a few days off to rest and recover as well, because it's been an intense period. So it was a nice reset for us. And then we had a couple of days on the training pitch this week. We get a free week next week with no game, which is lovely. So we actually have some training time. There's been very few sessions where we can actually train properly because we've been recovering so much after games. So it's going to be an important few weeks for us. And we need to maximise this time that we have. And we need to start this period off today by putting in a performance we're really happy with, and we can win the game.
You mentioned that Celtic game. You've gone with an unchanged team from that day. What's the thinking there?
I just think that the players deserve to go again. I think they put in a performance so together, so much fight, so much energy and aggression. They need to match that today. And like I said, we're a bit of composure now and a bit of courage to take the ball and create, and a bit of freedom in the final third. But really, simply, it was down to I think they deserve to play again.
Yeah, on your squad, you did say obviously the window's shut now, a few new faces since the last time we spoke to you as well. How happy are you with the summer and what your squad's looking like now?
Yeah, really happy. I think the squad's in a great place. I think we're in a really strong position. I said all the way along, we just want to be happy when the window shuts, and we really are. We have really good flexibility, good options, good strength, good depth. I'm excited about what this squad can go on and achieve now.
Good flexibility, good strength, good depth. The players deserve another chance after the Old Firm game. Alex, what did you make of Russell Martin's pre-match? You're on mute.
No, I finally got my card. There's my yellow card. There's my for a long time, but no shots on target. Didn't really get going in that game. Didn't look like we were even going to be able to challenge in that game. We had some spells that we looked positive, but never managed to amount to get a goal. But if he thinks that they're ready to go and show what they can do today, then fair enough. But he said that they came back from international duty looking strong, looking energised. But there's some boys that looked strong on international duty that haven't even been selected today. So it's going to be interesting to see how these players come out and show the manager that they have took the chance that he's bestowed on them, that they deserve another chance to right the wrong of the Old Firm. But we just need to wait and see, because we are obviously putting a lot of pressure on Russell Martin, as we have every right to do, because the results haven't been great at all. Some questionable signings from the club. But if he's going to turn it around today, then why not?
Yeah. Alex has been let go because they got the forklift working again. There we go. Right, let's take a look then at the starting lineup, Alex. Butland, Tav, Giga Suter, Migoma, Baron, Diamande, Asgard, Gassam, Moore, and Majovsky. Obviously, as was previously said, it's the exact same starting lineup as against Celtic. Chermiti, the new £8.5 million man. Cornelius, the new man as well, both on the bench. Cornelius is the one for me, but look, again, I don't want to come on and be too negative. The players done okay against Celtic. We looked a lot better defensively. However, we looked very powder puff going forward. But Cornelius, the one for me, had a great international break for Canada, scored a fantastic goal. He's the one who I would have expected to come straight into the starting lineup.
Definitely. I think he played 180 minutes for Canada during the international break. Whereas we spoke about it before we came on air. Nasser Giga's obviously looked a bit questionable in the past few games. He's not looked the most comfortable. Didn't play at all during the international break, so he travelled away and didn't play anything. Whereas Cornelius did. He came in to be that left-sided centre half, and he's just not started. He's on the bench. Now I get that sometimes managers don't want to put them in, but we did with Majovsky. He got thrown straight in. So why not throw Cornelius in from the start? Why not throw Chermiti in? I like the fact that we've kept that midfield of Baron, Diamande. Asgard did look a bit tippy-tappy sometimes, but if he can get a bit of comfortability playing that more midfield role for him to come back and go forward at the same time, it could be interesting. But I think Cornelius definitely deserved a shout to get in today. That free kick he scored was just top class, right into the corner, 25 yards out. And he's one that we probably will see, but knowing Russell Martin, we won't see him until about the 85th minute, and he'll get 5 minutes to come out when the game's already done.
Aye, done in what way though? For who? For Rangers or Hearts?
But we'll wait until later on, and we can find out what happens with that one.
Just on Giga before we move on. Obviously, that means that Suter will be playing in the left-hand side of the defence again, whereas we've seen him for Scotland, Alex, and he looked very, very comfortable against a very, very good Danish team. I thought Suter performed really well. That's why I'm surprised that I thought it would be Cornelius on the left-hand side of defence with either Giga or Suter, and I probably would have went Suter, to be honest, because we've seen in the last few weeks, maybe they've had a chance to work on it during the international break. My hope is that that's the case. But the communication between Giga and Butland has got us into a bit of trouble.
I mean, Giga was away in international duty, so he wouldn't even have had that time to talk to him to get that communication sorted. So he wouldn't even been there. But I do agree with you. I think Cornelius would have been the right man to come in and play on that side, move Suter over. I did look comfortable against Denmark, and he looked comfortable against Belarus as well. Obviously, that was a very comfortable 2-0 win. But I just think it'd have been it made a lot more sense. You're bringing in Cornelius to fill a role and then not using him to fill in that role. So it's a bit silly. I get his thinking. He wants to obviously put a bit more confidence in the boys that have played when they put out a good defensive performance against Celtic, but didn't have any attacking merit. So maybe he wants to get them out and do it again. But you've got players on the bench there that can come on and make an impact. We've not seen it of late, but you've got Finlay Curtis who can make a great impact. He showed that and still can't get a start. Ant-Man, obviously, in his first game for Rangers, made a great impact and he's kind of fell away a wee bit. Bayrami's not really played since Alaba, that was his first start. Danilo's not been great this season. So there is players on the bench that can possibly change the way that this game's going to look. But I just think that right now, that maybe is close to being our strongest 11, Martin, bar one or two players. Obviously, there's a player that we'll get on to talk about that's not even in the squad, but bar one or two players, that is definitely our strongest 11.
Moving on to the midfield, Alex, Barron keeping his place, which I think is deserved, to be fair. I thought of all the players in the Old Firm, I think Barron's the one who probably comes out with the most pass marks for me.
Yeah.
I thought he was very, very good against Celtic, and he keeps Rothwell out of the team again.
I mean, Barron can hold his head high and say that he definitely put in one of the better performances from a lot of the players. He controlled that midfield. He was put in from the cold as well, to be fair. He didn't really start many games or get much minutes, and he was put in to fill that role. and it's good to see that he's obviously Joe Ruffwell has had an okay stint at Rangers. He has looked very poor in the engine department and been able to last a full game, but Connor Barron obviously showed that there's some quality there. Maybe needs a bit more game time. Maybe that's going to be his position. But right now, there's 3 players fighting for that position, and one is winning out of the 3 because one's fallen out with the manager, one's on the bench, and one's kept his place from before the international break.
Yeah, in terms of Diamande as well, looked a bit better against Celtic. We could probably say that about most of the players. They looked a bit better without looking fantastic. But we need to see the deal of Europe, and we need to see the deal in Old Firm games today because he can go missing. Alex, he can be lightweight, and he's not necessarily that type of player. He's a strong boy. He can carry it well. He can come back and defend well. We need to see that Diamande today because from what I've seen of Hearts in that midfield area, they're strong.
I mean, Mohamed Diamande seems to turn up in the big pressure games. See, when the pressure matters, he turns up. But when it's league campaign games against, I'm not saying that they're games that don't matter, but when it's against your St Mirren, your Motherwell, your Dundee, he doesn't seem to turn up. He seems to get kind of just lost in the fact that he thinks that game's already won before we've kicked the ball. Whereas in Europe, he has to do more roles. I think back to him in the Fenerbahce game, he was absolutely outstanding. He was everywhere, he was putting in tackles, scoring goals, and he just looked like he was the Diamande that we know is there. But as you say, this Hearts midfield will run over the top of us today if we don't have a connection. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Diamande is going to be deployed in a role of you need to stay back and cover Barron, and Asgard's going to be the man to try and link up play. He didn't do that against Celtic, but there was really nobody to link up play to. He also ran himself into the ground, but Gassam and Moore didn't really look that comfortable going forward. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. But I do want to see how Diamande gets on today because if he plays like European Diamande, he'll run over that midfield without an issue.
And Asgard as well. I think what it showed for Norway was, and again, it was Moldova, right? But what it showed for Norway was you get that boy in the box, you get him playing as that number 10, and that's what you can do. He done an okay job against McGregor. It's not that difficult to mark Callum McGregor out of a game, to be brutally honest. I think we need to stop looking at that as a great performance because it's been shown that no matter who you put on Callum McGregor, it's pretty easy to mark him out of a game. Going forward, I mean, he nearly scored against Celtic, to be fair to him, but he's went away with Norway, Alex. He scored 4 goals. Not got man of the match because Haaland scored 5, right? But however, he's went away with Norway, scored 4 goals. His confidence will be at its highest. We need to see him further up the park.
We definitely do. When Asgard was deployed as the main striker, he dipped very low. He was sitting playing as almost a number 8 at one point. He was sitting in the midfield on the halfway line rather than being up in the box. If we can get Asgard further forward and try and link him into the play a bit better, I think he will get goals. He showed that he can get it. I totally agree with what you're saying, that Moldova aren't obviously a great team, but to get 4 goals, you still have to be in the position to put it in the back of the net. And he took all 4 chances very, very well and put a penalty away as well. So if you're Asgard, you're flying high, and he'd have probably been very disappointed if he was dropped because he's on that high. And out of all of our players that went away, he probably did have the best international break, getting that 4 goals, because Miowski obviously didn't score with Macedonia, and a lot of the other boys put in performances, but Asgard obviously got that 4 goals.
Yeah, and in terms of the front three, Gassam and Miowski, I think are obvious picks for me. And we'll talk about Chermiti in a wee second, but Mikey Moore, if that means that Gassam has to go back over to the right again, Alex, I'm worried about that. To be perfectly honest, I thought he looked quite lacklustre against Celtic. I mean, he went past Tierney once as if he wasn't there, and then never really tried to do it again for me. And to me, Gassam had Tierney on toast, but he's obviously much more comfortable playing on that left-hand side. So I hope that Mikey Moore starts on the right, although I very much doubt it. But Moore in before Ant-Man or Curtis, for me, I think that's slightly unfair on Finlay.
100%. I think Finlay Curtis should have been starting. He's showed what he can do coming off the bench, and that's disappointing for Mikey Moore. for Finlay Curtis, sorry, that he's had to come off the bench and get those goals and be the man to, one, save as a point, and two, show that we can actually get goals. Because when he came off the bench, obviously we didn't have a shot on target. Then he has two, so he shows he's got the capability to get the shots and get the goals. But if Kissam's on the right, I feel that he's not going to be as effective. He didn't run at defenders. He didn't try and get in a lot against Celtic, but neither did Mikey Moore on the left. So I think Mikey Moore should maybe be used as the impact player to come on when the benches are tired, rather than being the man for the start, because a lot of the attacks don't seem to go down that side. Magoma likes to go for the overlap when it was Kissam in front of him, but we didn't seem to see that when it was Mikey Moore, because he likes to come short rather than being the man to run in behind. So I do think it's a bit harsh on Finlay Curtis not getting the start. But again, we're not Russell Martin. He knows what he's picking, or he believes he knows what he's picking and knows what he's doing.
Yes, he does believe that, and let's hope that he proves us all wrong today. Because we cannot afford another performance like Motherwell, like Dundee, like St Mirren. We just can't afford another one like that, and we can't really afford another performance like we did against Celtic, where we had no shots on target either. We need to get that sorted pretty pronto. But we'll come back to that in a minute. There's a comment here for Great Wall of Canada that you kind of says to me before we started, and his worry is that Braga and Shankland will ragdoll Giga and Suter. Braga is somebody who you mentioned to me before. Is somebody that you're worried about today?
Claudio Braga's a great goal scorer. He's a Portuguese forward who just looks like he's got a knack for goal. He seems to just be constantly on the shoulder of defenders. He's got a good bit of pace about him, and if him and Shanklin get working together, they'll absolutely destroy Giga and Suter. I just hope that we do enough in the midfield to contain them not getting the ball through the middle, because Braga looks like he's a great striker. He looks like a great bit of business for Hearts. I think it's 4 games, 3 goals he's got so far, and he just looks like he's going to keep going on. I hope this is a game he has an off day, because if he doesn't, Jack Butland could be quite busy in the Rangers goal. So let's just hope that they have a bit of an off day and the connection's not there, because Rangers are very much feeling it right now, and they're feeling a bit sorry for themselves, the fact that we've had 4 draws in a row. The fans are going to be on their back from the word go, because obviously they want their thoughts known about Russell Martin, and the players are going to feel that, because it's going to be a bit of a powder keg today, Ibrox. It's going to be everybody pretty much on Russell Martin's case, regardless of what the performance is.
Yeah, and just He-Man and the Master of the Universe, which is a great YouTube name, by the way. Fantastic YouTube name. Where is Lyle Cameron today? He's injured.
Yes. Yep.
So he is. Which was one of the problems bringing him to the club, actually, was he had a wee... He doesn't really get massive injuries, but he does get the odd injury. Can I just give a big shout out? Because why not? To my little brother who's starting for Peterhead today against Hamilton. He's coming up against a Rangers youngster in Xander Hutton. So I've gave him all the inside info on how to destroy Xander. No, I haven't really. I haven't spoken to him. I haven't spoken to him at all. But I just want to give a big shout out to my wee brother who starts for Peterhead today against Hamilton, and he is up against Xander Hutton, who is of course one of our youth players. So who do I want to do better? My brother. Obviously. Right, okay, let's talk Chermiti. We'll talk Raskin in a wee minute, right? But let's talk Chermiti, Alex. £8.5 million. I have no issue. Not that it really matters what I think, but I have no issue with him being on the bench. I've got no issue with him being brought into the squad gradually, Alex, and getting 15, 20 minutes here, then 25 minutes, then 30 minutes. Get him up to speed, get him comfortable, get him confident. I really don't care about how much it costs to bring him to the club. I want Martin and the coaches to do whatever it is necessary to do to get him to start playing well and scoring goals. And if that means he has to be brought into the squad gradually over the next 2, 3, 4 months, for me, my own personal opinion, I'm happy with that.
I do agree, Tay. I do agree as well. I think that Chermiti's got little to no game time at all at Everton. I think he's played 22 games for Everton, so he's not really done a lot. Not scored a goal. I think to throw him in straight away when the atmosphere the way it is right now, I know that he's got this big price tag on him, so a lot of people go, we paid £8.5 million for you, so you need to start from the off. A lot of times that can ruin a player, especially with the way that the atmosphere is going to be, as I said. But the way the game's going to go, I think that Chermiti could be a great impact off the bench until we maybe get the opportunity where we start him and Miovski together. Because let's be honest here, Miovski's brought in to be the number one. Chermiti will get that role eventually, but right now for me, Miovski's going to be the number one. He knows how to score in this league. Yes, he didn't get off to a great start against Celtic, but we showed that one, he does a lot more running than a lot of the forwards we've had for a while. He chases down everything, puts the defenders under pressure, and they know that. So I think that if Chermiti's coming off the bench, 15, 20 minutes, maybe keep him on with Miovski, so you've got that strike partner, somebody to bounce off of. Maybe you're taking off Moore or Gassam and you're moving Miovski out wide, and you're having that option to have Chermiti in. I think could be great. But if we're throwing him in from the start and it doesn't work after 1 or 2 games, everybody's going to be down his throat going, we've wasted 8.5 million, we've thrown it away, this boy's useless, he's rubbish, or everything we know that we'll get. We've had it with Ant-Man and he was only, 3 million? So if we're doing that with Chermiti, we're going to ruin the boy before he's even had a chance to get out.
Well, Lefty72 is asking, can you trust Russell Martin to do that, Martin? No, I can't. I don't trust Russell Martin to do anything. But there's no point in me just coming on here every show and going, right, well, there's no point. There's no point in anything, folks, because Russell Martin's a manager. So that's it. No more build-ups, no more watch-alongs, no more reactions, because we all know what's going to happen. I do not trust. I've got 0% faith in Russell Martin to do anything at this football club. And I hope, I genuinely hope I am more wrong about this than I've been about anything in my entire life. And I hope that we come out here today, Alex, and we win 3 or 4-0, playing some fantastic football, and it just all clicks, and we can come on the reaction and go, right, that's a start, and it continues every week to be the case. We go on and win the league, we go on and win cups, and I can sit here at the end of the season and go, right, everybody laugh at me because how wrong was I about Russell Martin? But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't trust the man. I don't believe in him whatsoever. I don't think the majority of the players believe in him, to be brutally honest with you, mate. I don't think he can bring through an £8.5 million player and make him good. I don't think that Ant-Man's going to get any better under him. I don't think he's going to be playing the players in the correct positions. I don't think he's going to play the players that are in for him. I just don't trust him. That's my honest opinion.
I completely agree with you, and I really do. And see if we're coming back here at the end of the season and we've won the league and we've won a cup under Russell Martin. 99.9% of the Rangers fans are going to have to say, right, I was wrong, because every one of us is singing up the same hymn sheet to say that Russell Martin's not the man to bring us forward. And I think that we can quite clearly see that because his tactics don't work in our league. He's playing players that are in the wrong position. There's no drive to get forward. When he's on the touchline, he looks lost. He doesn't have the power to bring on players. Look at Eggman, for example. He couldn't get him on the pitch. Then he goes and he bags a double for Leo and scores again. I think it's 5 goals in 3 games now he's had. And I just think if that's a player that's saying he can't play for us because he's injured and he doesn't want to play under Russell Martin, goes away and does that, it says a lot about Russell Martin rather than the player. Now I know what Eggman's done isn't right. It's completely wrong. You should be playing for a club regardless of how you feel about the manager. But if that's the confidence you're being inspired for your manager, then you're not going to want to sit and play. I think Russell Martin's going to be here for a little while. But as the weeks go on, we can see it now. This league's going to slip away. It already is. I mean, we're sitting 7th on game week 5, and yet it might turn it around. The players have trained well. They're looking comfortable. That they're getting there. There's a bit of fire. It's the same stuff every week, Martin. We can literally just play as week 1 pre-match comments, and it'd be the exact same as week 5. It doesn't matter. We're not getting anywhere under Russell Martin. We're not improving. If anything, players are actually getting worse because they're just down in tools, and we're seeing it at an alarming rate. When Ant-Man came in, he obviously didn't get a lot of time to be coached under Russell Martin and looked amazing. Now he's had time to be coached under Russell Martin. Looks like he can't kick a ball. So it tells you everything you need to know that these players just aren't doing what they need to be doing. And I think if we get a win against Hearts today, that's good. But let's see if we can get a win against Hibs. Let's see if we can then do it against Genk. Let's see if we can keep going in the league, because one win isn't going to change how everybody feels about Russell Martin. If anything, it's just going to paper over the cracks and go, right, is this the turnaround? Then we get beat next week and it goes, nope, we're back to square one again. So unless we actually start seeing consistent games against Russell Martin, and not just against the smaller teams, it needs to be against everybody in the league. I'm not saying for 1 second Hearts are a small team because they're top of the league. So They're obviously showing that they deserve to be there with the start they've made, but we just cannot be going into games thinking we've already won or going in with a defeatist attitude, which we've seen from the start of the season. A lot of players going in thinking we're already beat.
Yeah. Are you effing stupid? You're speaking like a Russell Martin fan. Who is this other clown? Why are you even on here? Why are you even tuning in to watch if you've got an issue? Would be my question.
And who's the?
I'll say this to Orville, and I will say this to anybody else who thinks that we are fucking stupid or we are a clown. Don't watch. I really don't care. I really, really don't care. Go and watch another Rangers podcast or go and watch another Celtic podcast because you might just be a Celtic fan because we do get a lot of them. So, yeah, Orville, really couldn't care, mate. In fact, I'll just block you, mate. I'll just block you and then you don't need to worry about getting annoyed or frustrated at us anymore.
I mean, I'll let you speak our mind, Martin. Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you know what it is for me, Alex, mate? I'm just getting a bit fed up with people. I see people disagree, no issue. See people come in the comments and go, "Oh, Martin, I completely disagree with what you said there. I think you're completely wrong." Blah blah blah. They're probably right. To be fair, you coming on and calling people fucking stupid and calling people clowns? I have no time for that. I have no time for that. I can't be asked with all that.
There's a constructive way to get your point across, and that's the way.
I've had a wee think over the international break, and I'm not taking the abuse anymore. I'm fed up with it. So any bit of abuse, you're gone. I don't care. I really, really don't care. Regards to this Hearts team, Alex. So the results in the league so far is a 2-0 win over Aberdeen in the opening day of the season, a 3-2 away win at Dundee United, put out the cup by St Mirren on penalties, a 3-3 draw with Motherwell, and a 2-1 win away at Livingston. So Hearts have had a very good start. I believe they're 6 points ahead of us.
Yep.
So they've had a very good start to the season, Alex. A more than decent team. We had decent manager, but we do have the bragging rights, I suppose, if you want to, for lack of a better term, over Hearts. I think it's like they've not won at Ibrox in 17 games or something like that. We've got a very, very good record over them.
No, we do. We've got a very good record of them, but that was when we've been in good places. And we've actually had a team that can work together and play together. I think that we've got quality in this team, Martin. I'm not going to sit here and say there's no quality anywhere on this park. There's no quality. They just don't look like they play together. That's the biggest thing. They don't look like they've got the ability to work as a team. It seems like a lot of individuals, but I do think there's a lot of players in this team that can easily go and grab the winner today and get a performance and get their name up in lights. See if they don't, then Russell Martin needs to have a look at himself because he wants to give these players a chance and see if they're being given a chance to prove themselves and they're not doing it. Why are they getting the opportunity to go out there? But Derek McInnes has got a point to prove today as well. He wants to get the win over Rangers today and make that 9 points rather than 6. He obviously wants to get the win up on Russell Martin as well. But we just need to go out here and show that we've got a quality team that can actually perform. Maybe ignore Russell Martin's tactics a wee bit while we do that. But if we can't do it, just do anything to get the win because we've got players there that can score. Miovski loves scoring against Hearts. See if we can do it again today. On you go. Get in there because I'd love to actually get his campaign off the flyer today.
Yeah, that's a good point. Just before that, though, Hearts can sit top of the league today on their own. So they will 100% be up for this. Alex Dougal's 100% spot on. So we need from minute 1, from minute 0 to minute 95, we need to be on it.
We do. We need to be on it. And the one thing that we need to be on, Martin, is not being looking like we've been intimidated by this other team in the tunnel. Because how many times do we get that? We look like we've been intimidated from the tunnel. See if these boys can actually look up for it today and go out there, show a bit of fire and intensity and not go a goal down the first 5 minutes. Then, right, we're actually laughing because that's been our story of this season so far. We go out 5 minutes in, we're a goal down, or a man sent off, or we just look like we can't play together. See if we go out here and actually take the game to Hearts and show them that we're not here to be pushed around. I think that's when Hearts will start to maybe show a wee chink in the armour because they'll go, oh, we thought Rangers were just going to lie down the day. And I just hope to God we go out here today and actually show Derek McInnes and the rest of these Hearts boys that we could actually do it. And maybe leave one on Shanklin for the sign back for Hearts again. Just leave one back on him as well.
It'll be interesting to see how this game goes. It's a massive game for Russell Martin. It's a massive game for Rangers, and it's a massive game in terms of the title race for me as well, because any more drop points, and it is absolutely done. 4,000 plus days since Hearts won at Ibrox. Anyone confident that we'll win? No.
No.
And I hope I'm on here at 7:30 tonight on the reaction with a big massive smile on my face because I've been proved wrong. And we've won 3 or 4-0. Miovski's got a couple. Chermiti's come off the bench and got his goal. Barron plays excellent. Rothwell comes on and has a really good game. Giga and Suter at the back are immense.
And no injuries.
But I just don't see it. We are back. Well, Alex is back in about 8 or 9 minutes' time for the watch along, folks. So if you are a channel member on either YouTube or Patreon, then you can tune in and join Alex for the game. We've got some fancy new graphics as well. We do some very fancy graphics, and you can join Alex for the full game. And then we are back at 7:30 tonight for full match reaction as well. So, Alex, mate, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you to everybody who's tuned in. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure that you do leave a like and make sure that you are subscribed. If you're watching on Twitter, make sure you're following and give us a wee retweet as well. And also get your comments in on Twitter. And if you're watching on Patreon, which is the first time we've done this on public Patreon, and you like what you hear, then consider signing up as a member on Patreon as well. Jim Sloan, massive super chat. Thank you very much, Jim. No excuses today. Follow, lads. There is absolutely no excuses. Martin has no excuses. The transfer window is closed.
Yep.
It is his players now in position. It is the players that have been brought into the team. He has absolutely no excuses. And Ian Mitchell with a £5 super chat. Thank you very much, Ian. Well done, Martin. Don't deserve any abuse from my dates. You do a great job, and I watch every day and catching up after work. Well, thank you very much, Ian. Greatly good. The support we get on here is absolutely second to none. We're not backed by newspapers. We're not in cahoots with the club. We are simply just supporters who started a podcast without any backing, and we're trying our absolute best to grow as big as we possibly can to bring you as great content as we possibly can. So thank you very much for all the support, folks. It really does mean a lot. If you're a member, then you can go and speak to Alex in about 6 minutes' time. If not, you can join myself, Alex, and Ian tonight at 7:30. Thank you for watching, folks. We'll speak very, very soon.